Hello and welcome to Moc Talk.
We're your hosts, Moc.
And Daniel on NBR National Brick Radio. We're here in the Atlanta Brick Coast studio. Let's talk about some MOCs. We got a special guest here today, Steven Erickson from LEGO Masters.
How's it going, everybody?
You might know him from notable shows like The Joy of Building.
That's okay.
right.
We better dispense with the accents.
The late night talk shows, yeah.
Yeah. He's on the late night circuit of The Joy of Building.
Yep.
Once monthly now on Atlanta Brick Co. TV.
That's right.
Check us out nightly.
Same with this show. We're doing tank battles bi-weekly? I always forget.
It's bi-weekly,
Is that
yeah.
every 2 weeks or is that twice a week?
It is once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So-
All right. Anyway, bi-weekly for tank battles, and then we've got Moc Talk and
Joy of Building
Joy of
dancing
Building
around
are
it.
now kind of alternating.
Yeah.
Today we got a live audience.
That's right. This is episode 2 of Moc Talk. So we are going to get things started with a little segment that we like to call My Own Mocs. One of our better segment
It
titles.
never gets old.
Great name choice, I will say.
That's right. We're at the Department of Redundancy.
Oh, well,
department.
Daniel, what is a mock?
A
What does
mock,
the
yes.
acronym stand for?
A mock, well, it's like making a mockery of something. So when you say I want to make a mock of something, no, I'm just kidding. It's my own creation. So when you say
my own creation?
my own mocks, that's right. It's like the ATM machine or the PIN number or your VIN number or I forget what some of the other good ones are.
There are many.
Yes, so today, bringing in some mocks to show off. Stephen, why don't you show us what you brought for us this week?
Alrighty, I brought one of my oldest mocks actually. No,
You
seriously,
still have together.
I built this. When was it? It was for college. It was for a college art contest about 5 or 6 years ago, and I whipped it up in an afternoon. I got an honorable mention. It was fine. Everyone had a lot of fun. It was a great experience. But I kept it ever since because I just didn't feel the need to grab all these orange parts and just use them for something else. So yeah, the Seahorse has just been I love the ocean, I love nautical stuff. It's been to a few shows occasionally. It was kind of, I built it around the time when aquascape was really popular, and it still is pretty popular, like when you build the giant coral reef with like sharks and stuff. So I added some coral elements here and there, some jellyfish, and a few figures to throw in there. We built an Atlantis thing for, what was it? Oh yeah, for a Lego store up in North Georgia. Me and Mark, you remember?
It was on display there
we
for
had it
a
on display at a
month.
Lego store, so
Oh,
it's
excellent. There you
actually
go.
traveled around quite a bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's just a fun little thing. I just pull if I need a cool creation, I just take it out of the box, put it back together chunk wise, and
Perfect.
boom, here it is.
Well, and that was something else I wanted to mention. So you mentioned this was one of your older mocks, but it's one that's clearly not been immune to updates and little tweaks over time. 'cause
Yes, you can kind
I
of
see
tell.
some more modern parts. You've got those sort of glitter transparent fern pieces that came out in some of those various sets, as well as I think some of the minifigures look like they've been added a little more recently. So tell us a little bit more about those.
Yeah, so for minifigures, I've got a lot of Ninjago, I've got some series minifigs, a couple of Atlantis parts and Shima parts, so there's a large variety.
Why don't you hold some
Oh,
of
hold them up. There we go.
Yeah, show
One of
them.
my favorite. I'll show off my favorite first. This little. I don't know where the blue head comes from. I think it comes from. What's it called?
I think it's a
Hidden
Build a
Side.
Minifig.
Hidden
Or
Side or
Jam
Build a
behind
Fig. Oh,
the
can you guys see that?
Here, I got the reach.
I got pictures on my Instagram too, if you want to see him as well. But yeah, I don't know what he is. He's kind of like a general or something. He's got that translucent spear.
Yeah,
a
very
lot of
cool.
those parts come from. There's some Alpha Team with that helmet, and some Ninjago movie with the legs and torso.
I like the little 1x1 round bubble tiles. What are those from?
Yes, I honestly don't know where exactly they're from, but I had a couple of them. I think it's
Somewhere.
I think it's a dots bracelet. Like there was like
Yeah.
a beach
Okay,
theme or
yeah.
something.
That could
A lot
be.
of dots going on here, and the bubbles just kind of coming off of him. Just if you can imagine that,
Sure,
it's super
yeah.
cool. Next, I got I think it was the Seaweed Emperor, the Sargasso Emperor,
Okay,
whatever.
yeah.
I just threw them together like quickly. The torso's from Atlantis. And the tail is from Series Minifig. The Trident is an old Brickforge part. I don't know if they still exist anymore for sale. But yeah, I had to use it.
That's
and
great.
next,
Same
my
helmet
favorite-
mold, but
same
this time
helmet
from
in green.
Insectoids?
That is from Insectoids.
Great.
And I recently acquired a clear one from Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
So I want to maybe add
One
new,
of the
like,
harder colors
the
to
Bubble
find.
King or whatever.
Yeah.
Next on the list. Now I had to cheat a tiny bit. There's a tiny bit of putty at the back. I'll show you that. But that is the Crab King and his son Prince Pinchers, and he's made out of Chunk. Chunk is like $5, but he's such a cool mold.
Yeah.
It's from Toy Story 3.
And that helmet just works too perfectly with that body. I mean,
It's
it's like they were made to
for
yeah,
it. And this
exactly.
helmet is also Ninjago as well.
It's too bad they couldn't just put one stud on the top of Chuck's head.
No. And the last one, I'll just take this jellyfish off. We could highlight those in a minute. This is the Shark Warrior, whatever. I think that's Electro's body with the shark from the Shark minifig from the series 14, 15, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty popular series fig, and I had to make the shark. I just had to use it. You know, it was like I'm making an aqua scene. I got to put a shark man in it somewhere.
Now,
But,
did you
yeah.
leave the Amber Heard minifigure at home, or was she lurking around somewhere?
Amber,
yeah.
that one didn't age well.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
part of. We did an Aquaman thing as well from the Aquaman 1. We liked that movie a lot. We watched it in theaters a couple of
Yeah.
times. Super fun movie.
Drama happens though, so yeah.
Yeah, so we left most of that home. In fact,
Mhm.
I had a lot more, but it's gone to pieces. So this has survived, and I have a few other animals with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the figures are still there, and these are my 4 favorite.
For close-ups of all those minifigures and high quality, go to Steven's Instagram,
Mhm.
Brother Steven 100.
And you have some too, I think.
Yeah, we share a collaboration on that. So.
Yeah. So
This
check
show's
out
all
our
about
Instas,
this
yeah.
show's all about promoting various mock builders and things. So we'll drop lots of social handles and things that you should always go give a follow.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Incredible stuff, Steven. Lots of nice comments about them. People saying, so cool, yes.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Any other like techniques or anything in particular you
Well,
want to
I
highlight
did
with
one.
this?
I don't know if you can see it from way back there, because we got the banner in the
Throw the
way. if you
picture
wanna-
back up.
Hey, Mom. There we go. So if you see his curly tail, that's a minifig leg assembly,
Mhm.
and I am definitely not the first one to use that. That's been done millions of times before for sea creatures and stuff like that. And it won't be the last one, I'm sure. But that was a fun one with the minifig legs on the tail. A lot of fun snot work going on. And let's see, yeah.
Good sculpting.
A lot of sculpting, a lot of different angles. I wanted to use a lot of these translucent elements for I don't know if this is a technique or NPU, but the dragon wing for the fin.
Yeah,
it
that's great.
just worked perfectly. I love
Yeah.
it. It's so much
And a
fun.
little pop of neon definitely helps it.
Exactly, especially when you have like a black light hitting it and something glows like that.
Absolutely.
Other techniques, I guess for color, it was nice to use nougat and orange together. I think it works really nicely. But yeah, it's just a lot of snot work and a lot of sculpting and a lot of fun techniques like that.
I think in the jellyfish, not only the usage of the umbrella for the top, but having that the snowflake piece inside of it really gives it some extra color and depth.
Yeah, those are really fun.
3-dimensional.
These are slightly bigger than the ones on the picture there. But yeah, the jellyfish were fun. That design went together really easily. That was really nice with the chima crystals. That's those sort of tendril looking things.
Fantastic.
On the ground, I had a lot of fun because if you actually look at the bottom of the ocean, it's usually kind of dirty. It's got like broken shells, shark teeth, little chips of little stones and sand colorations and stuff like that. Only rarely do you see perfectly clean sand like in the Caribbean or whatever. Most of the time it looks kind of multicolored. So I added a lot of like fun little like starfish, little flower pieces that look like starfish. And
Yeah,
stuff
it looks like
that.
you took your cup of spare parts left over from sets. And
There you go. Like, I'll just add these and a lot of dots, pieces, everything.
Yeah, all the quarter tiles
And a lot
the
of little
studs.
gold studs, like little gold coins all over the
Stars,
ground,
yep.
and that's fun.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
And a lot of snot leaves as well.
We have like a 5-gallon plastic bag of just 1-by-1 pieces left over
Yeah,
from sets, and
yeah,
that's where
it's
Steven
like
just,
the size of
spare
a burlap
pieces.
sack,
Yeah,
for a
just-
wheat bag or whatever.
We'll have Rich
Yeah.
sort it for us.
That
later.
actually is probably very accurate to what the bottom of the ocean looks like somewhere underneath where that cargo container went missing. all those years
Exactly.
ago. That
Yeah.
spilled the Lego pieces all in the ocean.
Yeah, they started, they made their own
Yeah,
little undersea ecosystem.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's a coral reef now. A
Yeah,
Lego
exactly.
reef.
A Lego
That's
reef.
right.
Aquascape.
But great stuff, Steven. Very great.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for bringing it in.
Did you have a name for this whole creation?
So it went with an Atlantis thing. So there was like the
Okay,
city
part of a
Atlantis,
bigger-
whatever. Correct. But as for the seahorse, it's just kind of the seahorse.
Fair enough.
I think that's all I titled it as because it's it's just that's the main focal point.
Very good.
As far as a name for this
Creatures
specific
of the Coral Reef is your old
Hey,
title.
Creatures
for
of the
it.
Coral Reef. That's the fun one, yeah.
Very nice.
But I also had I still have that pufferfish.
pufferfish.
Yeah, he's still around too. He's pretty cool.
Very nice.
But yeah, I don't have a name for him, so if the chat has a name, then I'm happy to take a look at it.
Yep.
So.
So Steven wasn't the only one to bring a cool mock today. Daniel had a last. The whole thing was about Daniel's mock last.
That's right. Today we're divvying it up.
It's just us two. Daniel's taking a little
We got
break.
the brothers
You've
head
got
to
other
head.
stuff you could have showed off.
Oh,
but,
well, yeah. We got plenty of episodes
I've
to
got
come.
these two castle-themed vignettes. You can't really see them on the table here,
Slide
but
them
I've got
away a
pictures.
little bit.
So
Okay, yeah, there you go.
the first one I posted actually yesterday on my Instagram.
It's a little dark.
It's a little dark because it's a night scene outside of the library, and two of our D&D characters, mine, Boris, on the left, and Tyus's, Harrison's character on the right, and we're inspecting a magically protected window. And it's part of our episode 2 of our D&D session as part of the story, and I wanted to recreate it in Lego so we can have something to look at to kind of visualize what it's like. So yeah, it was a fun campaign. It was 2 bulls in a china shop. It was crazy.
More like 4 bulls.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
you and Garrett did a better job with your characters. This is a scene. I won't spoil what happened, but it was action packed.
That was a fun one.
And you said this was which episode?
So this is episode 2, and it's going to be out on
Episode
Friday on my YouTube channel, Mark of Fallworth.
Great.
You can go watch that on Friday, or if you're a member paying 99 cents, you can watch it now.
So these were mocks made with the purpose of photography and storytelling in mind. So what can you tell us about kind of the difference in terms of build techniques versus something that you might make for a mock to display at a show?
So I will first of all preface this whole thing by I spent an hour total on both these builds.
So very quick,
very rapid.
Yeah.
But I will say,
flexing those Lego Master muscles.
Oh no, this is like that. That's why they look a little hastily completed.
Says
But
you.
I don't think so.
nowadays, me and Steven have collected a lot of pieces over the past few years, and this entire wall is just snot with some somewhat hard to find tiles with the 2x2 tiles with rounded edges on both sides. A relatively new piece.
It's just tan on the back.
A lot of olive green foliage.
Yeah, you can see on the back it's just a plain tan filler brick on the back, and then a simple brown window to kind of illustrate where they're paying attention to or inspecting the area. But a lot of olive green pieces, those new 3-leaf pieces. I think they actually would have come in the Lighthouse set, if I'm not mistaken.
That, and I think there's a few in the A-frame.
A-frame as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
harder to find
It's a little
leaves.
newer.
We have literally like sandwich bags of these in our collection.
Well, if
Don't ask
anything-
where we get them.
If anything, one of the harder to find pieces here is probably the 3-stem grass stalk in olive green.
Olive green grass stems being kind of
I
hard to
bought
find
a
now.
bunch of those off of Bricklink a long time ago.
And then that's our entire new style book collection in the bookcases on this build. So you can see a lot of books behind the archer
Yeah.
there, Steven's
We've got
character.
some old ones in there as well. Some of the new and the old.
So so just kind of hastily constructed, trying to recreate as much as
Now,
possible.
what theme did those new style books first come in, Mark? Do you happen to remember? off the top of your head if it was
I've
a-
forgotten.
I think it was one of
don't
those.
know.
It was a castle theme, I believe.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, moving right along.
Which one would you not like to hear?
Next-O-Nights.
No, it was elves. I'm pretty sure it was elves that had
Was that actually
theirs.
bore?
I think
They
it
might have
was
been
elves.
simultaneous.
It was
Maybe you're right.
And Harry
maybe you're
Potter
right.
had a few too.
feel like-
Next Nights was what I was
I think
thinking
Elves
of.
came out in 2016, which is after Next.
I also know that there's an Ultra Agents with a laptop.
We're getting off track. Anyway,
I think it's-
so for the windows, in order to make it work for the lighting tricks that are happening in the photos, which you see here, kind of this purpley sheen behind them, which is supposed to be magically protected, you've got these transparent opalescent 2x2 bricks, transclear, just a milky white
Not
color.
easy to find.
And they're just stacked up behind each window so that when I held a 10-watt blacklight bulb behind it, it diffused it nicely and made it look cool for the photo. It wasn't too bright. So
Well,
that was
that's hard to photograph.
a little
isn't it?
lighting trick because I know that I really just was focusing on the one shot. So very deliberate design choices there.
I just realized the same scroll piece on the table is the same one on my shirt, by the way.
Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
Steven is
It's
wearing
same
the
one.
scroll that's
So
visible.
if you look here, that's
on
the,
the table
same
there.
scroll on the guys between those piece of in the Lego in the middle.
Yeah.
The Lego piece in the middle. That's my shirt. So that's pretty.
So
Fun.
go listen to the first episode, and the second episode will be out publicly for everyone on Friday at 1 p.m. So check that out. It'll be a lot of fun. Daniel, you
I'm
should do
guessing.
some
I'm guessing
D&D
it doesn't go well if Steven's character is just holding a bow drawn
Straight
at point
to him.
blank range.
at a guard.
No, that's gonna. I hope I don't run out of steam, like holding the bow back.
It's
that could
clearly
get tiresome.
it's
Yeah.
clearly not a stealth mission.
This was a standoff.
This is
yeah.
more like This is more like a cartoon Looney Tunes
We'll
hold up.
just say things unraveled
Yeah.
quickly.
Oh, they
after-
really did, but it's
Very
definitely
good.
our microphones get better.
Very good.
The audio quality is improving each episode.
Yeah,
so
Good,
it's
good. Well, I
Shameless
think
plug.
that'll do it for my own mocks.
For sure.
So I'm trying to remember what the name of the next segment. Oh, boop, 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 breaking news segment. This is the Untitled news segment.
Exactly.
And this is going to be
Untitled
where we cover sort of notable mocks from the entire greater
the
Lego
UNS,
community.
we like to call it.
That's right. That's right. You here on UNS, Untitled News Segment. Sort of more notable mocks that came out within the last. I guess we're on a monthly news cycle
Yeah.
here, so
Every month.
notable things. They may be a little older, but they're ones that were shared on many various different Lego accounts and sort of permeated the general pop culture zeitgeist within the Lego community. So, what do we want to kick it off here?
We have
with
3
first?
different creations to talk about. Why don't we start with the smallest one?
Sure.
It's small but potent.
Oh,
And,
this was
my
this was my pick.
Yeah.
So
I love
this is something that you found,
Yes.
right? Daniel, you were looking at this individual's Instagram. This is
Yep.
Boosker.
Yes.
They, them.
Bousker.
Yep, and they really did a great job with this build because it captures the look and aesthetic of a classic Agents Lego set
Yes.
in the most micro scale possible.
Yep.
So Daniel, you knew about this set. You had this set. What was it like?
I actually did not
You didn't
have
have a
this
set?
exact set when I was a kid, but their mock here is fantastic. The parts usage is perfect because one of the most notable things about that car was that it had so many metallic silver parts on it.
And that's the
So
color,
they've
isn't
they've
it?
gotten the color here with those sort of the cutout slope pieces there for the car.
Like
they've
the
used
fenders, yeah.
they've used an actual spider piece for the character was like a minifigure torso and head on like a spider leg bottom. I forget what the character's name was. But,
Yeah,
you know,
it's probably Spider Guy or something. You know, like
yeah. Anyway, the
Spider Sam
minifigure
or
like
whatever,
would
yeah.
repel from the helicopter via like probably a cable, but it was like a spider drops down from the ceiling. So
Mhm.
they've included all of those great elements. They've got the gates like exploding open as the car drives through it. But the other thing that's fantastic about this mock is the way that they've done the landscape. So not only they made a nice section of road for the car to drive on, but the fact that it's built into this like crazy angled mountain where it's like these wedge plates on the bottom. This is fantastic. I love the subject material and the execution are both just astounding to me.
Yeah, capturing a recognizable Lego
Oh, yeah.
Agents Mission 5 set.
Any Lego fan that was around in the early 2000s that was a fan of early Agents is going to be a huge fan of this.
Now,
That is
Steven, you're not
fantastic.
necessarily a micro scale builder, but what are some of the things you like about this model?
The rock work, it
Yeah.
looks really good. He nailed the colors. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, they nailed the colors.
Mhm.
A lot of good part usage for sure, especially with those clay face parts there
Oh,
with
yeah.
the molded elements. The helicopter is definitely a standout. I love that thing. It looks
Mhm.
really, really sharp. It's really well executed. With you can feel the moment really nicely too.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
for sure. Also, I like the curved road. Those are really annoying to make sometimes if you want to get a shot on an
Yeah.
angle. Like you'll get these little annoying gaps. You don't see any of them there.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very professional.
Very well done. And
Absolutely.
now I'm going to spell this out because I'm probably actually butchering the pronunciation, but it's at BOUSKER_. This bill was made for Vegan Week 2024 or Vegan.
Well, it's like
Vignette
vignette, so Vin Week. I
Vin
guess
Week?
would be. I
Vin
don't
Week?
know. I always see it written. I never have
I'm
to say it out loud.
dyslexic and I can't pronounce anything. But
Me
yeah,
too.
it's
It's a vignette
Vignette
mock
Week
building contest.
2024. So great job, and we
Yes.
really appreciate that creation. There's other
Absolutely.
awesome microscale builds to be found at that account, so go follow them. So.
Yeah, give them a follow.
All right, next one. What do we got here? Let's talk about that spaceship. How about it?
Yes, this is crazy.
This really caught our eye.
Mhm.
Bold color choices. Daniel,
man.
why don't you tell us about this build? a
Yeah,
bit?
so this is by Red Space Cat. That's Red_Space Cat on Instagram. I believe they're on Flickr as well.
Yeah.
But something that I think is really powerful is when you can use very high contrast, mostly primary colors in a very clean studless design, and it has an impact. There's no real reason you have to use fancy colors to make a build stand out. I mean, these are all very widely available colors. But the way that they've done the sort of color blocking and the high contrast just makes this a really clean, really polished build. They've used some fantastic, I think, some custom decals as well to add some features like the name up there on the front. This landing pad is just great. You got these.
It's insane.
These
Look at
little
fighters.
I know all the little right angles and the little miniature fighter planes and
I
everything.
love
It's-
it when they have the little
Ah.
doorways underneath the platforms. Like,
Absolutely, little
yeah,
undercuts and other places where ships.
if
can
you
fly
look
out.
at an aircraft carrier, they've got like little areas where you can like
Absolutely.
send out little boats and stuff like that, like everything.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
really, it's a world building right there.
And some of this detail on the top, I think, is actually brick built into it, and then some of it is printed elements with those numbers
hold
and
on,
the
hold
arrows. Oh, I think we
Main
lost it for a
camera,
second.
main camera cut out for a second.
I think we're all right. But yeah, so a lot of those printed elements on the surface of the deck, I'm sure those arrows and the number pieces are probably the actual Lego pieces. I'm not sure if those striped pieces are custom decals or not. They may be from something.
Yeah.
Are we frozen?
We are having trouble switching photos here. So, and it's out again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, StreamYard is going haywire.
Pull it up.
Double check and make sure our audio is
Sure
even
we're
still
good. May have died.
Making sure it's
Got it.
still going here.
Hold up. If you can hear us, bear with us, folks.
No, it's working here. So
Oh,
it
it's
might just
working?
be
Okay.
on my interface. It's not working, but
Yeah, no, we're good. I can still hear it here.
Okay.
Okay, something went
StreamYard on
wrong.
the
Try
laptop
again.
is great.
Whoopsie.
We're stuck with the photo up, so we can just continue talking
Yeah,
about
let's
this.
talk about that. Let's talk about
so
this.
tell us
cool
about the
design.
top of that ship there, Dan.
Yeah, there's a really nice sort of gun turret on the top with those like kind of shark eye decals like you would see a lot of wartime vessels
Like a
with
turret,
paint
yeah.
on there.
Oh, that is cool.
They're using one of the dice pieces with 3 dots. It just
Oh,
kind of
that's
looks
so
like
cool.
something you might paint on the side. One of the things I really love is on the side of the ship they're using the old magnet holder pieces, and they've built in these little like gun
Cannons?
turrets
Oh, that
inside of. I think on the top that also looks like one of the horizontal magnet
yeah,
holder
yeah,
pieces.
I see it,
So
I see it.
they're really making great usage of the fact that they chose such simple colors that you get a much wider parts catalog of parts to choose from.
Now, Daniel, I got a question.
Yes.
I've seen this style of spaceship before, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks insane. But what I want to know is, what do you call this style? Because there's a lot of snot work going around. It's super clean. It's got these very harsh angles, these 45-degree angles. It's got the sort of color scheme you see around. You see this in September. You see this with other things. So, what is it called? Like, is there a name for this
The
design?
style in terms of like how clean the design is, or like this particular type of ship?
Well, it's very industrial looking. It's very realistic looking.
It's militaristic. I would say it's somewhat fantasy based, fantasy
it looks
enhanced,
like a video game,
but grounded in the reality of military.
Oh, I love
design.
it when they do these multiple shots too. If we can get that's
It's up now.
Yeah.
That is really yeah. Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
Different shots and angles and stuff. Was this for September, by the way?
I think this is just for fun.
Wow.
It's like doing. I would say the best way to describe the style would be doing sci-fi or fantasy, but still grounded in realistic design principles.
Interesting.
And I think that's a very powerful thing to do. For
making it look real as possible.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've seen Red Space Cats work on Instagram and Flickr before.
I know the name. It's really
go give them a
cool.
follow. Spaceship, sci-fi, all sorts of great
Absolutely.
stuff.
This was the Swordfish class frigate.
Valiant.
Yep.
Okay. It's a couple times on the ship. You can actually see it. So.
Nice.
Is that
cool? Is that
And look at
lavender
that.
at the front, by
The
the way?
whole underside too is tiled
Yeah,
off.
nobody does that. Nobody does that.
That's
anymore.
incredible.
What's the color on the front? Is that blue or lavender?
I think it's just blue. I think it's
Can't
regular
tell
blue.
from back here.
Yeah.
It's awesome though.
Yeah.
But getting all that diagonal striping using those triangular tiles is fantastic.
Exactly. Interface is still a little choppy, everyone. So
Yeah,
hopefully
sorry if we cut out there a little
the
bit.
picture's still working. We should be good to go. So that is 2 out of 3 of our news.
What's our last one?
No,
that
that
we got?
last one is the big one.
Oh,
So-
yes. All right.
Oh,
So this
yeah.
was a huge collab that was eagerly anticipated by many people
Look at
and
that.
premiered at Brick Fair, Virginia this year. So Garrett and I got to see it in person. You
Oh,
all, unfortunately,
lucky.
not. You missed out.
Lucky.
But this was the huge Halo Silent Cartographer collab with a number of contributors. Many of them are my good friends who also participated in New Hashima. But we've got Spartan Bricks, Taco Bricks, that's Daniel. We got Detroitica. We got Simon, Cymox, of course. Reno Bricks, another good friend of mine. And Ben Brickson, all good friends of mine. Like I said, many of whom participated in New Hashima as well. So you can see they all decided to get together and do something a little bit different this year. And this just turned out absolutely fantastic. Olive green everywhere for these builds, but the landscaping with that layered colored effect there, and then just enormous industrial underground rooms with all these various hangar bays and
Look at that.
oh my gosh, yeah. Now, unfortunately, I was a PlayStation kid, so I didn't play Halo.
Neither did we.
But I can appreciate the design of it as I've seen all sorts of videos and concept art things and the visual style of Halo is a very unique and identifiable one.
Yep,
and they just absolutely knocked it out of the park with this.
I'm grateful to have played the Halo games as an adult, so I don't have
Yeah.
the same nostalgia as many of these builders certainly do, but it's still really awesome to see.
Yeah, there were some fantastic techniques as well. If you were able to get up close and personal with it, a lot of these columns that were on the corners just had insane amounts of detail in them.
And lights.
Yeah, absolutely. There were some fantastic features in it as well. They had the I don't know the name of it, but it's like the Halo ring thing that's like kind of spinning. They had it like suspended by fishing wire
That's
from like
cool.
like one of the turntables that you would use for photography or something. I would assume it was like up in the ceiling, so the thing was just like kind of spinning, and it looked like it was just floating in the air.
That's so
It was
cool.
it was in I think the second bay
Was
in
it
from the corner.
purist? What did he for minifigures?
That we don't have super close-ups of the minifigures, but all the human troopers would have had custom armor pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But all the aliens were brick built,
Nice.
so
Yeah.
very cool looking.
Yeah, because Lego hasn't really done
You can
anything
see some
with
of them
Halo.
there. They're just like little assembled figures.
I
They're
gotcha.
really good. So.
But just an all-star team of builders with some really fantastic techniques usage. Unfortunately, I think they got snubbed on the awards.
Yeah.
But,
Of course.
we're talking about it here. They're talking about it on Beyond the Brick. They're talking about it in all the places that matters.
They
So.
got all the recognition.
That's right.
So that's good.
Right.
Yeah. But great work to all of them. We'll have their ats written out in the credits at the end, so just stay tuned for that
Yeah,
if you want to
absolutely.
get a screenshot of that later. But that is our Untitled news segment.
That's
for
the end of Untitled news segment. Will it ever get a title? Who knows?
Probably not. I like the Untitled news
Who
segment. It's
knows?
great.
It'll
The UNS.
stick
So
pretty
next
well.
up, we're going to move to I think this is the Erickson special segment.
Yes.
This is Blast from the Past, where we like to talk about notable older MOCs. We bring up something from, I don't know if we have a hard cutoff, but probably at least 5 to 10 years old typically.
Exactly.
Is when we like to pull these from. So a lot of these are coming from the old Flickr days when I
the
think we
old
talked about this
community.
the last time we did the show, but when you used to, click and drag a little box on the picture and
The
just write
notes,
NPU.
The
yeah.
notes.
Something that's never been
Yeah.
replicated really on any other social media platform that has had any success.
I miss those notes.
Old
Yeah, those are
social
good.
media.
But so yes, let's dive right into Blast from the Past and see what we've dragged back out of the depths.
Yes,
that's
this is
worth
actually
talking about again.
a smaller than average Blast from the Past because we have a gigantic mail-in your own mock section.
Yes.
So we're gonna only have 2 creations to show today and 3 really, really talented builders. The first one is called Sabishi Monastery. This is by Isaac and John Snyder. If you don't know who they are 2 of the most talented, mostly Lego castle builders out there. Isaac started building a little bit of about a year before I did. It would have been about 2010.
Started posting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Posting his creations online publicly for the first
Regularly,
time
yeah.
in about 2010, so a long time ago. And so this is one of their last collab builds that they did together as brothers before Isaac went to go work for the Lego Group, where he now designs many great sets, including stuff like the Viking Village and the
wow.
Horizons Forbidden
Tall
West
Neck.
Tall Neck, and other really fabulous
Yeah, so
sets.
That's
Isaac's
good that you
crushing
pointed
it.
those specific sets out because now I'm seeing like
Oh,
some
yes.
elements
Seeing
of
the
that
familiarity.
So I
Absolutely.
imagine Isaac just walked into that interview and just handed them a flash drive of the thousands of amazing builds that they've done over the years, and was
And
just like,
just
I
said
can do
nothing.
this.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
a really quiet guy, so he just probably slid the flash drive and just sat
So
there.
I imagine he got in without any trouble at all. And John is equally as talented. If not, honestly, John might have the edge on his older brother in some builds.
A little bit.
But so definitely worth following both of those guys. It's Little John @_brickbuilt, and then I think it's Isaac Snyder _brick @brickbuilt. So definitely worth checking them out on Instagram and Flickr. They also have their own website, brickbuilt.com. So,
Yeah.
Great.
definitely.
Wasn't Isaac the first person to ever comment on your social media?
He was the first person I interacted with online as an AFOL.
Yep,
So
the very
very
first
cool to have
Nice little
kept up with
story.
Isaac over the years. Really cool guys. They occasionally attend conventions. John probably still does every now and then. They're up in New York, but Isaac obviously is in Europe, so he can't always be over here to do stuff like that. So if you ever see him, if you ever go on the tour or anything, say hi to Isaac for us. So shout out to those brothers.
Miss those
That's
guys.
fantastic.
Miss those
The
guys.
next builder is going to be a builder that you probably know. He's pretty well known. Does some awesome sculptures and architecture. He is a Finnish architect, and also he has a master's, and he's a very talented individual. His name is Eero Okkonen, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Okay.
And this is one of his older creations that I wanted to bring up. And Star Wars fans will recognize this as the legendary Admiral Akbar. And this is actually from 2017.
This very
So-
much still holds
That
up.
holds up really,
You could tell me
really well.
that this
Yeah.
is a set that's going to be released next year, and I would believe you because it looks really, really solid. So
Yeah.
many great NPU and textural
Oh my
details.
gosh, yeah, there's mud guards everywhere on
Yeah.
his nose and the eye
Are
socket.
those
the mouth.
dark red bullwhip? What is that for under his chin?
So
there?
that's probably the animal harness piece.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
word!
These
That's
are-
from Dino
it's
Attack.
the one with
Yeah.
the,
oh
it's the
my
one with the 4
word!
different things. So they're using 2 of them there.
So
for
it's
the
like a
little
capital letter
tendrils.
H
On the
hose
chin.
piece.
Yes, like
yeah,
the
that's what it
H-shaped
is. Yeah,
one. Not
it's
the
from,
newer, just
it's from
straight
Dino
lines.
Attack from the little buggy.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
So I only was able to find the 2 pictures
Ah.
here, but yeah, he might have more
2017.
pictures on his Instagram. I think he's also on Flickr as well.
Even the way they've gotten the clothing and the sort of chest bust shape is very simple but very effective, and then you
Yeah.
get the little medals down
And the
there on
Rock
the front.
Raiders panel.
So 2017, that was now 4 5, 6, 7 years
7
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
So
Word.
that was
Wow.
probably before the bus sets came out. So like this
Yeah,
this is evidence that Lego could do better. So, but no, definitely go follow him. His at is at EEROOKKONEN. We'll have that at the end so you can screenshot it. Go
to buy a
follow.
vowel.
So that's
What is this, 4
the
dots?
Finnish names can be a little weird. So
believe you.
so go check him out.
Eero O'Connor.
Extremely talented builder. That's just one of thousands of awesome sculptural
Yeah.
builds.
Is he still
Fantastic.
building, or is he?
Oh,
done?
still very active.
Oh,
He
that's
posted
good.
probably a week ago.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
But all these guys are still active. Isaac and John are both still active, and so is Arrow. So,
Perfect.
but that's
Very
the history section.
Very good blast from the past.
Yep.
And so we will move on to our last section, which is going to be pretty big this week or this month. I
We
guess.
have only like 20 something photos. So yeah.
This is our Superfan
All right,
Showcase.
here we go.
So we'll tell you at the end about how you can submit to be a part of our Superfan Showcase for next episode.
Yeah,
but
just
for
send us an
now,
email.
we're going to go through the builds from all the folks that sent us in mocks after last week. So let's kick it off for our
Yes.
Superfan Showcase.
So regular viewers of the channel will recognize this name, but this is Geology Joe.
Yay!
And Geology Joe is a super fan here. He is here on most of the streams
Yeah.
that he's able to attend. He is a professor over in San Diego, and he
Mhm.
teaches obviously geology and other subjects as well. And so he,
Oh, I thought he taught English.
yeah, you'd be surprised. He actually teaches geology. Yeah. He has been getting into mock building in the past few,
good,
I think
good.
months, almost like maybe a year. Let us know, Geology. I think Geology is
in the
watching
chat?
or was watching.
There he is.
There he
There he is. Up
So
there
he's,
somewhere.
he was commenting earlier. So this is the first build that he sent me. Actually, it was just after the first Moc Talk stream. So this is kind of an earlier build from that. But it's a kind of a architectural build that incorporates a lot of different textures and colors and things going on with it. I don't know the name of it. I have to double check the email. Maybe he could fill it in for us. But he sent a bunch of great photos, so we can check it out. And it's really neat. So you've got it's cerebral. It's almost Dr. Seuss-esque.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
But more engineering.
a lot of things going on. It's just like an exploration of texture, color, and architecture.
What an
That's great. Very
interesting
artistic, yeah.
concept.
So I'm a big fan of this. I think this is something that you really don't see a lot in Lego.
No,
Because we tend to kind of reduce things to, is it Castle, Pirates, Space, or Star Wars, you know?
yeah.
So, but to see something so unique is refreshing.
Very cool, yeah.
So what do you guys think about Geology Joe's first creation? This is one of several that he was able to send us. So.
That's nice. I love all of the I mean, it's a very unique color palette. I mean, we've got like yellow mixed with like medium blue, tan, dark
Sand
tan,
green.
sand green.
Black.
It's a very nice I just
Mixture.
want to say earthy color
It's a
palette, but then
palette,
you've got the
yeah.
vibrancy of the yellow. Yeah, I'm struggling to come up with a word to describe it, but it's.
I think that's the point.
It reminds me of what's the building in Russia with the onion domes?
Oh,
with
the
all of those
St.
colors?
Basil's Basilica.
Basil's Cathedral or
Mhm.
Basilica. Yeah. It's that kind of color palette to it. I don't know
Yeah,
what
you
to
see
call
the
it.
spires on the top. That's
Yeah,
gets in my
yeah,
eye.
yeah.
So.
That's a unique one. I
I
like
like
the
the-
rock
I
work,
like the
obviously.
color
Makes
palette a
sense. Yeah, there you go. Nailing the rock work.
You
And
got
the
this cool
volcano.
like balconies and stuff going
Yeah,
on.
it's almost got a little bit of like Frank Lloyd Wright going on in it too.
Exactly.
It's a
But
very
more
nice artistic
so, yeah.
exploration.
You see almost a cathedral style with those
Yeah.
black and blue and teal elements in the middle. there.
It also reminds me a little bit of another builder, Brick Distorted, the one who like does a lot of like interesting, vibrant recolors and things. There's a little bit of that kind of high contrast color exploration.
And then you
going
got a
on as
rainbow waterfall down
well.
below.
Yeah,
It's just cool.
absolutely.
But in contrast to this very kind of more artistic and kind of abstract build,
Mhm.
you have a very realistic and one-to-one scale creation that he sent
Ah,
us
this
here,
is great.
which
This
is
is fun.
a vintage can opener replica, which has extreme amount of
That's
detail.
really good. You're
That's
just
so-
missing the cord. That's
That's
it. But other than the
spot on.
cord, wow.
I mean, yeah, you can't really replicate that in like this rubber.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might be able to.
Let's put out a challenge.
Don't forget the
Geology
cord.
Joe, you have next month to figure out
Oh my word.
how to build
but
the plug and the
it's
cord.
amazing. It's amazing.
So even the mechanisms up there are very
Oh my
similar.
gosh, wow.
So
I'd like to point out that not very long ago there was that Lego Masters episode
Yeah.
where they do something in real life 1-to-1, and man, Joe would have been in good shape in that, in
Yeah.
that challenge.
This nailed it. Absolutely.
look at the base and stuff too. I mean, that's really good.
Now he also sent in one for our display out in the store, which was a bar of soap with like bubbles all over it.
Yeah.
Which again was a
That was
really
Joe.
great,
Okay,
a really
nice.
great like realistic sort of recreation of
People
a
like that
real
one.
world item. So
People like
A
that.
very compelling, a sculptural 1-to-1
Absolutely.
scale.
I
so-
love to see stuff like this, even
Mhm.
though it's the most mundane of objects. When you see how accurately and how much attention to detail somebody put to convert something from real life to Lego, it's very cool to see some unusual techniques.
That's very
Fascinating.
fun.
And that's not even it from Geology Joe today. We also have a replica of Bob's Burgers restaurant
Wow,
here.
that's good.
So now, what really surprised me about this build, and I'll let you guys chime in later, but there's yellow, lime, red, and a little bit of brown and gray for the sidewalk and the door. Yellow and lime are extremely bold colors, but
Yeah.
because I don't know if it's the lighting or just the way he took the photos, this is as a kind of a subtle and calming vibe to it
Yeah.
that would really, I think, not be the normal
It's-
situation.
It
so-
should be irritating, but it's not at all. It's nice.
The colors work well, the architectural combination, everything looks terrific. So and
It's
that
that
burger,
very-
the burger mosaic is really standing out too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a nice one.
It's that very, I guess it's like a San Francisco kind of style with
Mhm.
those buildings shoehorned in, but they're all painted very vibrant colors.
Kind of like a
A
sunbelt
lot of them
color,
still
yeah.
have like the white trim, but yeah,
Mhm.
this is a perfect recreation from the show. This is fantastic.
just missing some decals here and there, and it would really
Yeah.
finish it off.
And are the windows light aqua
Yes.
as well? That's great.
So tiles on the upper story windows and looks like bricks on the lower story stuff. But
That's great for glass.
yeah, because it looks like you can see through, but it's definitely
Right.
opaque. You can't.
yeah, you don't have to worry about hiding what's
It's like an
behind it or
overcast
covering
day
it up or
almost.
something.
An overcast day, the color would be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a cartoon almost. So.
Yeah, the burger sign is great.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
this one is actually probably my favorite from Geo Joe, but
And that's really large too. That's not like
huge.
modular building size. That's
it's like
that's got to be
Joe,
enormous.
if
Couple
you're still
feet.
in the comments, tell us how tall it is.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
how tall is
Did
it?
he chime with- Yeah.
no,
He
Geo
might have
Joe
had
is not here. He might be busy, but
Oh, no.
Joe is on a roll, says Morgan.
exactly. And then Dust Up the Bricks, also a prolific mock builder. So
That's
those
right.
are really
I'm sure
good.
he'll be watching later.
Absolutely. So congratulations, Geo Joe, for some amazing creations. Thank you for sending them to us. We
Absolutely.
really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank
Appreciate you watching the streams all the time too. It's always good to
Thank
see you.
Thank you, Joe.
So when you watch this on the replay, let us know how you think about it. So we've got several more to go
you.
through.
Yeah.
though.
Keep them
Were
rolling.
these submitted in?
These were all
These were
submitted.
sent to us for this show.
The builder of this next one is a fan of the show, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah. So,
Wow.
Geo Joe and this next one were on time. They sent it to me weeks ago. But I got 2 different builds in the last 24 hours to be on the show, and I was thankfully able to sneak them in there.
We got a really good reception to
We did.
episode
We
1. I was
really
very
did,
pleased.
yeah.
So thank y'all for being fans of the show. I mean, this is a good time to hit that like button if
Yes,
you haven't
and
done so
subscribe.
already.
Like the video, and
Yeah.
we appreciate you guys participating with us.
Absolutely.
It's an engagement thing.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's great.
Mhm.
So this next build
Oh, this is a good
is
one.
from Steve Palda, and this was on display at 2 conventions already in the United States.
Very high profile conventions.
Yes.
Extremely high profile.
These pictures,
yes.
I believe, are from Brick Rodeo based on the graphics behind on the
Mhm.
signs
Oh
back
yeah, that's
there.
Brick Rodeo.
But this was on display at Brick Rodeo and Brick World Chicago, and you got nice recognition at both of those shows. And what's really standing out to me, before I let you guys talk about it, is the fact that he's got these buildings at some crazy angles. What do you guys think, Steven? What's
that wasn't standing out to me that much.
I
I thought it was cool that he used light bluish gray. It's really unique color.
Yeah, exactly.
No, obviously that's
think
insane.
I think it didn't give me anxiety until you pointed it out. I'm like, oh, those are heavy.
Yeah.
I'm really curious how he did that.
You think about how
because
much weight is out there on the end of that building.
That's a ton of weight, and he
Trying to
nailed
just
it.
pull it apart.
And
Yeah,
it's
this
not
is from
solid. It's hollow. So
Now,
yeah,
for those of
There
you,
must be some Technic bracing or
there's gotta
something.
be something going on there. Yeah, some
steel
wizardry.
beams. Yeah.
Yeah.
some rods or whatever. I don't know. But for those of you who are curious, this is from Into the Spider-Verse. Is
Yes,
that right?
It's
Yeah,
called
yeah.
What's Up Danger is the
What's
name
Up,
of the mod.
Danger? Great name. No, yeah, absolutely. I heard that. Oh, we want to talk about the techniques right now. Or you want to go into detail?
You can talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that this guy,
Steve.
Steve, he won a very coveted trophy at Brookworld. Is that right?
He
You
won
got
the white brick.
The white brick.
Which is still a mystery.
okay.
So
Daniel, do you know the details of white brick more? Than
I know a little bit. So it is there's a great brick nerd article about the history of the white brick, but it is not an official award presented by Brick World Chicago. It's unknown who presents
It's
these
totally
awards.
anonymous.
It could be a community member. I don't know.
it's always
But
a mystery.
It's a small white 1x2. Well, it's built to look like a brick, but it's like an upscaled
The Brick World
brick.
trophy
It's
size.
like the same
Yeah,
same
yeah,
size
yeah.
as the Brick World
It's
trophy.
a couple inches in every direction.
Yes, but it's an all white brick. and I don't. It doesn't even have a plaque or anything on the outside.
But it
It's
has an
plain. But
interior, a
typically,
heavily
yes,
detailed
the
interior.
lid
yeah.
comes off, and it typically contains either like a micro version of their build or something. Which, given that these awards are presented at Brickworld, whoever's creating them must be doing them
with a matter of
on
hours.
site.
Yeah.
They're deciding who they want to give the award to.
It's crazy.
Finding the parts to build these micro builds. I guess they could maybe have a heads up if they know somebody's bringing something to the convention. But the amount of work that must go into presenting those awards, whoever the community member is doing, I highly encourage you to go find at least the Brick Nerd article to read more about it. But yes, it's a highly coveted and very mysterious award.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely an amazing, but definitely worth it. That build is insane, and it's going to be in Atlanta here relatively soon. Is that
that's
right?
the exciting thing is that Steve will be bringing it to Atlanta BrickCon.
Can't
this
wait
February,
to see it in person.
Yes,
So,
which those tickets are on sale now, by the way. So if you're thinking about coming to Atlanta BrickCon, one of the fastest growing conventions in the country, you can get your tickets right now.
Get them quick too.
I know we'll all be there.
Yeah, we will all be there. One final detail: there's a great interior shot with a
word.
portal opening to Star Trek, and Spider-Man is part of the Star Trek universe in
And
the
that's
background.
actually
He's
built
in this
into
Spider-Man.
there. Yes.
Oh
Wow.
my word!
Physically built into the model is
That's
a Star
great.
Trek
That's
reference. So.
insane.
Great
That's
job,
so
Steve.
great.
Go follow Steve at Steve Polda on Instagram.
Yes. Steve
And,
Pulda.
Yes,
Didn't know you were a fan of the shows. They're really good stuff. Yeah.
And you can also see Steve on Old Gray Bricks. They stream mostly Mondays now, but they also occasionally stream on Thursdays on Fazoom 7's channel. So go check that out.
We love Fazoom.
We love Old Gray Bricks. We love Fazoom. All right, moving on. This is second to last here. Another great viewer of the channel, and also an employee.
Technically our coworker.
Yeah,
of sorts.
really?
Of Orlando
Oh,
Brickco.
right.
Actually, he's the first employee of Orlando Brickco, I believe. The oldest.
That's true. He's been around longer than Joey.
longest lasting Orlando Brickco employee. This is built by Flounder, aka
Yay!
Flounder _ collects on Instagram, or Flounder collects on
Johnny
YouTube.
Flounder.
Johnny Flounder, go say hi to him. Flounder made Anarchy in the Arena. And Daniel, what do you think about this wrestling scene here?
This is great. I was glad I was able to see this in person at Brick Fair.
I'm so jealous.
Oh.
There was one time, I think, when I was in high school when I went with some friends to like a WWE like Monday Night Raw or something. I actually went to a wrestling thing, and this is exactly what it looks like. You've got the ring. It's a gray mat, and it's got the the ropes around it, and then the people are behind these barriers that are around it, and he's got all the props in here. He's got the ladders. He's got the folding tables that they break, and all the characters are great. He's got a ton of hidden figures in there that are references to both real world wrestlers as well as, I mean, look, there's Pepperoni hiding in the background.
You got the human spider, you got the Minotaur.
Yeah, human spider is like a sumo wrestler or something. So he had like a whole scavenger hunt built in there with all these different references that you could find to either real wrestlers. Look, you got Drax in there.
Bane is in there.
A
lot of series minifigs.
Yeah, so very fun. I always love it when people do like an Easter egg treasure hunt thing within their mocks. I think it's very fun, and it's also just a great representation of what an actual wrestling ring looks like. And I know he's got big plans for how he's going to expand this in the future.
I love the little commentator's box. Let me find it over here. There it is, over on there on the left.
Yeah.
You got the guy with the cowboy hat and the guy with they have like a crown to give somebody. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's the award. Yeah. Oh my word.
He was handing out stickers too, so that is fantastic. So huge props to Flounder for. I think this is his first mock. I'm not sure.
I believe
Really?
that's
He nailed
at
it.
least I think it's at least his first one that he's ever like publicly
official
exhibited.
presenting his first mock. So congratulations to Flounder. This is just so much fun to look at. So, very cool. And we'll make sure if there's any comments. See, anyone see the rare Macho Man anyway? Oh yeah, he's somewhere in there. There's several matadors running around.
So he said he just got a custom Macho Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
there you
great.
go. No, yeah, that's right. Macho Man was from the Lego Movie too,
The
right?
cream of the crop. The cream's gonna rise to the top.
And Flounder's yes, first one ever. That's super cool. Man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
good job, man.
Fantastic.
Oh,
All right.
Love it.
We need to see a Dragon Paladin just punching people in there too. You know, that'd be a good inclusion.
Oh, right, the new D&D character
Guy with the dragon mask on there. Anyway,
Why not?
moving on, this is the final Superfan Showcase mock for today. We've already been streaming for almost 45 minutes. But this is built by G, aka Papa G, aka Garrett's grandfather, who is a regular customer here at the store. He stops in, I would say, at least once a week, and says hi to everybody. He is a national treasure.
Brightens everyone's day.
Such a charming, kind person, and he has been working on this, the bridge to the portal of Asgard for several months, but has finally just about got it done to where he likes it. Now we actually have it here in the studio. We're not going to grab it because it's kind of large. It's over
we're
on
not
the
gonna
desk.
break it by accident.
But it's pretty awesome. It's got some great details. You got the different portals and pieces. He's representing different galaxies all along the walls. He thought long and hard on how to get this the large dome piece to work and kind of look like it's part of the building. He ended up going for a hinge and stuff to attach it and move it around, be able to aim it at different places in the galaxy. Of course, Rainbow Bridge going over there, all the characters having a good time. He has to make excuses when he shows it to people because they're like, "Where's the giant Hulk?" He's like, "Well, it wouldn't fit on the bridge, so I got the little Hulk."
Oh, is he in there?
Yeah, little Hulk is over there on the left. So.
He's the Mighty Micros
He's
one.
the Mighty Micros
It's funny
one.
that he's actually even smaller than all the rest of the characters.
Maybe
which are
he's
standard
mid-transformation.
Yeah,
or
maybe he's
something.
like mid-transformation.
Yeah, no, he's that's his one problem. He says he's like, I'm always trying to explain away that.
I think it's funny. I think it's a fun what if kind of thing where Hulk is actually smaller than everybody else instead of bigger.
Dwarf Hulk, or something like that.
Yeah,
so he's had
mini
a great time building this. He's worked hard on it, and this is he's built Legos in the past, of course, but he's getting more into it as he gets a little older. So he's very excited to continue building amazing creations.
So yeah,
I love the use of the dome out there on the end. That's perfect for the what's it? Is it the Bifrost?
Bifrost,
Is that,
yes, that's it.
With the little cone sticking out of there. I think it works really well. I think it's immediately apparent what it's trying to replicate.
I like the Rainbow Bridge. It's immediately recognizable.
Oh, yeah.
It looks really fun.
Very fun.
Honestly, this should, like, this format, this layout would make an awesome Lego set. Like, I don't know why Lego doesn't do that room and then throw the Rainbow Bridge on the side of it.
Yeah.
It would honestly be fantastic. I love his execution.
I want a Rainbow Bridge. You could get more than one and extend it. I mean,
Yeah, you could buy a couple of those sets and make them even longer.
There were not a lot of Marvel sets back when those first few movies were coming out. Original Thor, original Iron Man.
That's right, yeah.
he's got a custom Heimdall figure in there, not the
Which looks
official.
insane,
Oh,
by the way.
yeah, it looks great.
It looks
That's what you need, though. So.
Yeah.
And
I can't believe they still never made that figure.
I know. So some of the fun details are you've got the when you insert Heimdall's custom sword in there, you can rotate the table to have it do
really?
things.
Can you?
You can rotate all the towers to have them do
now
stuff.
Papa G's just showing off.
Yeah, G did an amazing job on all this. So
That's great.
we wanted to shout him out on this. He actually brought it in yesterday. He was like, "Hey, are you doing a stream about MOCs? Is this in time for that?" I'm like, "You know what? You just made
You
the
got
cut."
it. Wow.
You got it.
Power, man.
Not that we
Fantastic.
couldn't have done it next time.
We made them all fit this time, so it was great.
Wow, very
And that
cool.
being said, if you want to get your MOCs featured on Moc Talk next month, you can send them in to us. What's the best email they can send us?
Mark at ATL.
Mark at ATL Brick. So send us pictures of your MOCs. Also, we want to make sure that you like this video if you appreciate the content that we're doing. And maybe share this with a friend. Tell your friends to come watch Moc Talk if they like this kind of thing. Tell them about our stream. It helps get the word out there, get other people interested in what we're doing. You can see all of those handles for all the different people that we featured today. So definitely go give them a follow. This live stream is all about sharing the hard work that builders put into their MOCs and getting them credit for that. So make sure to go give these folks some follows, give them some love, give them some support.
Yeah, this is only a small slice of what these people are all making. Tiny fraction of thousands of builds you can go see. So
the
do yourself a
community as a
favor
whole,
and
yeah.
go look those up at some point when you have some time.
That's exactly right. So as always, remember that Moc Talk is made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And
That's right.
have a
Thanks
great-
to Stephen for
Hey,
being our guest.
You're
this-
welcome.
Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Let me scroll down to that. Where's that clip? Hold on.
The clip. What, we got a clip?
It's not a clip. It's just a thing.
Oh,
Hey.
okay.
Bye, everybody.